Hey, we gonna get to Botgate. Botgate. Listen, YSL trial is the gift that continues to give. Young Thug was caught on video. First of all, Thug needs to start a podcast. Never heard a nigga chat so much in my life. He was talking to any and everybody who had a pair of ears. Mariah, 21, Lil Baby, his manager. But I found it very, very interesting because we talking about bots. And he said that he paid $50,000 for Gunna to get the #1 album over the weekend. I think it was DS Forever. Very quality album. I definitely enjoyed that. My attitude towards bots has always been that everybody does it. Everybody buys bots. There's not one person in music, if you are getting numbers, that hasn't had an extra boost here and there. And I think that Thug all but confirmed it. Does this make you feel a way about music? As far as Gunna and getting that #1 album, is that tainted? And how do y'all feel about artists overall? With this information and they might have bots. Does this taint your idea of what the music industry is as far as #1s when it comes to albums, when it comes to singles? What do y'all think about that? Go ahead, Pixie.
So I really, I feel like this conversation gets rehashed and a lot. Not saying, hey, don't attack me, Rashad. I'm not saying that your argument is going to be, anything of that sort. But the reason why I say this is because this anybody that knows enough about the music industry knows that this has been a thing. Now I'm just not talking about bots. I mean the execution and the manipulation of hits and numbers every time since its inception, like for real inception in the 70s, like what we know it of as of today. So I kind of want to like everybody to kind of clarify that this has been a thing, I feel like, forever, when it comes to the buying of numbers and anything and everything of the sort. There's just some artists that have been very blatant and frank about it and calling it out, and I feel like it's now just gotten to the point that it's so saturated that you have no choice but to see it. So the bots thing is just natural. Like, it's kind of like something it's the elevation of it. My thing is, it doesn't, at least for me, it doesn't change anything about the music, because music is music to me at the end of the day. But what is unfortunate is that a lot of the time, good music and good artists will not get their shine simply because of the games.
Um, that's how it goes, though. If you got money, spend money. Um, I think that we've seen this. I've always been under the impression that everybody uses it because it's available, and it's not just a bots thing, right? Before social media, record labels would buy back CDs, right, to inflate numbers,
Exactly.
and so this
Right.
has always been going on. So it's very odd that now that the beef has happened, niggas just don't think that inflation with record labels happens. I need to get my motherfucking money back. Right. And so if I'm Thug and the only thing that it takes for me to get a #1 album is $50,000, I'm going to blow this $50,000 on some fuck shit anyway. I see it as a CEO investing in his goddamn product and investing in his artist and his label, because the fruits of having a #1 album is going to bring back way more than $50,000. Go ahead, Fresh. What's the word? How you feeling today?
What's good, y'all? What's good, man? Yeah, what the sister just said, absolutely facts. What you just said, Rashad, absolute facts. And I mean, to take it to a further extent, a lot of this started out west and in the south because we didn't have the battery in our back of major labels. So a lot of times, a lot of them guys was, what they would do is, they would get the distribution deals. They would buy their own albums back and then go sell their albums on the street, right? So then they were getting direct money. Plus they were getting the fruits, as you just said, of having a platinum album. Right. So this is how a lot of guys Rap a Lot Records. A lot of them guys were doing it. I know Too Short was doing it. That's where, Master P got his game from out west and then started doing it with No Limit. This is common practice. Now everything is digital. So now all bots is the digital version of that, right? Like a digital version of manipulation. When it was on radio, it was payola, right? They was paying folk behind the scenes to get certain spins and things of that nature. So this is common practice. This also shows, that artists are now taking it upon themselves and not waiting for the major label, right? Like they're not waiting for the labels to do it, right? They're doing it. That's what the whole, Drake suing Kendrick Lamar and all of them is about, right? Because he's essentially trying to expose what we already know is happening, but he's essentially trying to expose, like, hey, like they colluded, behind my back to do this, to do that, to value this or overvalue that. Well, that's been going on. They just did it on a mass scale in a singular event, which was wild, but it's been going on. So I don't think it really changes anything, but that man did a lot of talking on that phone. I mean, it's just, I don't know what we gonna have next. Like you said,
Boy.
it's the gift that keeps on giving. He's done a lot of talking. It's like,
Oh
Thugger,
man.
just be quiet, bro. Pick up a hobby, go play the game, bro. But yeah, man, this isn't common practice.
He don't even need the game. It's a hit. Still
Music
can come with that. Fuck that
music
verse.
music needs a bounce back anyway, man. I I think what we were spoiled with, to wrap up, what we were spoiled with, we just have variety, man. Like you could hear a conscious rapper, a gangster rapper, fun rappers. I saw Jermaine Dupri talking about fun records. Like this doesn't make me change my ideology of music. It just makes me look at like, for the kids, like what are they getting? They're getting spoon fed a lot of bullshit. Cause the radio used to actually have some quality shit, as you would say, Rashad, so.
Is that how do I say this? If you the nigga that's people are getting spoon fed, it's not an issue, right? I think it's the folks who aren't doing it or can't do it or don't have the means. I think those are the people that don't necessarily like it. But if it were me and I got the 50,000 extra boost, I'm straight. And I also wanted to say this because this is another point where the Kendrick and the Drake shit came to mind, right? Thug said that he spent this 50,000 on these bots and he never told Gunna. He just did it. And Gunna got the #1 album. So when we had these conversations about Kendrick knowing if Not Like Us got those bots, and my argument was always, no, labels just do this.
Was
Labels
it
will
a
pay for
factor
this.
in Gunna getting that #1 album? Anybody know?
What happened?
Without the 50,000 bots or whatever the
No,
fuck.
probably not.
Would he? Okay.
Probably not, because weekend dropped.
50,000 was the difference between the number one or not?
No, he
No,
spent
he spent
50K.
$50,000.
He spent
Oh, he
50K.
spent $50,000.
Yeah, to manipulate to use the bots to get the spin.
So somebody could have spent 100,000 and probably got the number one.
Right.
Yeah,
So
that's what he said. He said
Okay.
Cash,
Okay.
who is Weekend's manager, basically Thug said everybody used to do it. Cash could have did it, but he didn't. He said Cash stood down. But Thug also said that he wanted to do it for business's business to step on Gunna's album. So like he was just basically saying everybody does this and you don't necessarily have to know about it if you're the artist. And so I found that part very interesting when he said, "Hey fam, I just did this shit. I never even told Gunna about it." But go ahead, Mushy. Then we got Anthony's came up here, Cortland, and then Pixie.
Morning, morning. How y'all doing
What's
this
the word?
morning?
How you feeling today?
Man, you know how many nights I done said with my own song on repeat when this shit was back in the day when you spending all this goddamn money and you can't sell a fucking CD no more because everybody was on DSPs when it was changing over. You gotta you gotta get your shit on DistroKid and the rest of them shits. So it's been like this because ain't no money in this shit no more. Like you say, you gotta spend that money to make money. You know what I'm saying? And the cost of a stream ain't shit for real. You know what I mean? So this shit been going on, and for people to like, be like having this, like this shit evolved. You know what I mean? And it's just music now. So when people be having this uproar about this shit, it happens. You know what I'm saying? If you ever watched the Vice episode, or how they got you know what I'm saying, thousands of phones on the goddamn on the tripod, and they just streaming that shit. Like this is where we at with it right now. So it ain't nothing new. Ain't no music is authentic and sells no more for real, bro. And especially when it comes to those DSPs, like that's why you see like the physical copy so low, you know what I'm saying? Cause they didn't took the money away from the artist and just keeping people shit now, like just owning it and now selling it to fucking people, you know what I'm saying, their catalog shit. So the shit fucked up for real.
But why was niggas acting like this was new though? That's what I never understood because it's so much uproar about bots. And it's like,
Because
nigga,
people ain't real music fans. They just fans of their artists and they not fans of the industry. You know what I'm saying? Like people like me and you, or, you know what I'm saying? Who else that be coming up here? Like really, I forget L. Yeah, like L can explain it a lot too. Like people that's been in that that's trying to make it or been close to it, they understand that part. You know what I'm saying? Like people are just like surface fans of who they like. They're not trying to hear about the background shit.
Like we seen the video of Drake and Cole in Walmart or Best Buy buying a handful of Cole CDs, right? That's on the small scale, but that's what labels was doing. They was buying back boxes of albums to inflate sales, and somehow niggas act like that ain't happen. Go ahead, Anthony Easton, Cortland, and Pixie. Eh,
Oh, I thought Cortland was before me. I don't remember when you said my name, and I don't want to skip nobody.
No, you all good.
Y'all
You
be
all
getting
good.
real intense up in here, boy.
You all good. How you doing today?
Well, I was doing good till you just flipped out on May 10th. I'm like, golly, I don't even know if I want to go up and speak. So
It's
listen,
just
so
emotional Mondays. It's okay. You'll
oh,
probably
okay.
be
So
all
he
right.
be emotional on Mondays. Okay, cool. Okay. So no, I really didn't care about the bots. I'm gonna be honest. I looked at it as that was green as hell. Like if you did it, so like whatever you did it for, like for you to come back, it was like he was trying to make Gunna look bad, but it made him look like a chump in my opinion. Like everything he been doing is like chump activity, and it's like people scared to say it. Like nobody will speak to the fact that he green as hell and he a rat. And that was it.
Yeah, I do. I seen a post. I can't even say it's my words, but I do feel like he had some secret animosity towards Gunna because the things that he was saying, you don't just, that doesn't happen overnight. Right. And like
What, the
talking
stuff
to,
about him leaving, about him snitching so that he could go back to pussy and to lying?
yeah, like, oh, he just want to go back to a hoe anyway. Like what?
Mm,
Like what are we saying? Like, so a lot of things that he was talking about, I do
makes you
feel like
think.
there was just like a lot of hate there. And then even when he was talking about the bots, it was kind of like, he was trying to sun him. I think he was talking to his manager. I'm pretty sure he was talking to his manager. And he was just kind of trying to sun him. Like, yeah, this nigga wouldn't have did nothing without me. Like when folks start getting into that bag, I think that's like, I don't like that. That seems a little nasty, right? We can, if you did something for me, especially if I don't even know about it, how you gonna try to sub me and I don't even know? I didn't come to you. I didn't ask you for this type of stuff. You did it because at the end of the day, Thug is no dummy. You did this to invest in the company. You didn't do this so Gunna can get the number one album so Gunna can run around saying that. No, nigga, you know the fruits of somebody having a number one album on your label. You know the fruits in the return of, whatever money that comes back to the label, right? So this wasn't a situation in where you trying to make it seem like you just was being solid and did something for Gunna. Stop it, nigga. You did this for you. And so to try to sun me on some stuff that you did for you, that was weird behavior. Go ahead, Cortland.
Yeah, everybody pretty much touched on a lot of the things that I was going to say. Uh, I have family members that have been a part of the music industry. Some of my family members were part of the of Stax Records when they were first in their infancy. So payola was always a thing, right? You would go to a DJ at a radio station. You would go to an MC, and like drop the CD there, right? Hey man, slide them $20, $30, $40, and hey man, play this, right? Spin this a couple of times tonight, and
I
and that would drive
I
up.
did that so many
Go ahead.
times. I'm not gonna lie. That was my bag.
Yeah,
I'll buy the DJ a drink and
and
some
that would drive
wings
up.
and put a 20 over there. Hey fam, play my joint real quick. Like that's just how it
Yeah,
go.
like, and so like you would get that, right, and so like that would drive up either the demand of the song, or it would drive up sales, right, and spins and plays. So payola just spun into like anything with technology, and technology being the driver of most things now, it became bots, right? Like bots are now just hey, if I hear this song enough, and most DJs will tell you, they hear a song right enough, they'll play it, right? And so now I don't even have to go pay the DJ directly. He gonna hear that song, right? It's gonna pop up on his For You, or songs you should listen to on his Spotify, or what I'm saying. It's gonna pop up on like most popular songs list, and then he's gonna, okay, let me see what this is about. Oh shit, Gunna got a new song out. He got a new single out, or what I'm saying, Drake got a new single out. Let me, you know what I mean. Let me see what that's about, and then he gonna go play it. So it's just, there's nothing new, right? I think it only matters, or mattered when somebody that is widely liked, like Drake, right, and has a really big, stan, cast, is like when he says it, it's a problem, right? Like it's what you mean they botted somebody's song to go against him? That's crazy. Why would they do that? Oh, this shit is wild, right? Not knowing that most of the time your favorite artist probably has used bots in a mass way as well. So I don't now the other shit, the personal shit that that Gunna and Thug got going on and YSL got going on. I think that shit run deeper than we know. Unless you're like around the Atlanta area, like, I think that shit run a lot deeper than we know, and it could be some other underlying shit to that. However, um, like you said, on the business side of things, music business side of things, I think he just did what any artist or any executive would do, right? And tried to make some money off of an artist before he, dip out the door.
Anybody would do it. I think that's smart. I think bots is smart business. Whether you are a struggling nigga trying to get popping, or you are somebody of Gunna's ilk in status. Buying bots is smart business. Don't nobody give a fuck about real streams. Stop it. Y'all don't care. I think
Nasty, Rashad.
no, it's true. Nobody cares. The truth of the matter is people only respect that monthly listener on Spotify. They only respect that view count on YouTube. And they only respect them first week sales on Billboard. That's it. That's only thing, especially these youngins. They only respect those numbers. You can have the most fire album. I think, what Supreme Dreams, they made a skit. And I talked about it before, in where he got into his homie car and he was listening to the song, and the song was going crazy. He was like, "Damn, this is the best song ever." He was like, "Who was this?" And he told him who the artist was. He was like, "Oh, that nigga only got such and such views. Nah, this shit lame." Like, that's how it really goes. Nobody cares other than these numbers. And so smart business would say, let me go do this, because after that, the people do come. Like when you are trying to come up, right, as an artist, I think I spoke about this, and where I had a conversation with Zaytoven, and he said that he's not signing an artist that doesn't have 100,000 followers or 1 million views. The nigga didn't say anything about quality music. He didn't say nothing about quality music. He said 100,000 followers and 1 million views. That is the criteria. That is
But,
base level criteria to get signed. Don't
but
nobody
Rashad,
care about music.
I
Not
think the
okay, but not
problem with that
everybody
now
wants.
is
Okay. Mm.
I think the problem with that is like, okay, I've been seeing, I don't know if y'all know who he is. He's a Chicago rapper, Baby Keith Do It. I've been seeing this little nigga, I've been seeing this little nigga on my timeline for the last 5 days, every other video, right? I don't know how many followers that nigga got. All I know is his like Went West song has gone viral at least twice. I know for a fact. And so it's like
And if you have an
niggas like
honest
that are getting.
conversation with that young man or whoever is handling him, and you ask them, how much did this cost? They would tell you well above 50
No,
racks.
no, no. I'm
I'm
not even
telling
talking
you.
about the bot thing. I'm just speaking to like your point about like the 100K followers and like whatever many views or whatever. It's like if that's what it takes to get signed now, but that's easy to get now. Like that's easy. I can go buy that. I can
But
go
that's
like
why
people buy
music
people
is
profiles all the
trash.
time.
Right.
That's why music is trash, because it's so easy. Because a lot of these folks out here, like, that's the jug, right? There's no A&R departments no more, right? They're not building up artists. A lot of times when we everybody's seen Brown Sugar, I would assume, right? And where Tay Diggs was going to hole in the wall joints to try to find artists, and then when you find that artist, you put in work with them. You dress them up. You get the beats for them. You try different methods out as far as artistry. That was how music was. It's not that anymore. Labels have figured out, let's just get somebody already established, and then when we sign them,
Bingo.
not only are we going to take their future music, but that song that got them hot, we're going to take that too. And we don't have to spend no money to put in work. Oh yeah, that's a lick.
Bingo.
We lit.
And that's why we see so many artists now fizzle out in within a year.
I mean, there are no
Well, hold on. Let
lyrics
let
to
let
slam
Pixie get in real quick because she
anymore.
had her hand up. I didn't know if Kenya. I didn't know if you want to get on the subject, but go ahead, Pixie.
So what I was going to go ahead and say, is, and I'm glad that you clarified that. Well, I'm glad that we're all on the same page that this has been from the dawn of time when it comes to the industry. I think the only thing that, and I kind of want to speak to this, I think the only thing that makes it, I guess, nasty, in my opinion, where he didn't let Gunna know, for example, what was going on. I personally feel just because if you want to keep the charade, because that's what it is, let's just call it spade a spade. It's a charade. And I'll explain if you guys don't understand what I mean in a little bit. I'm going. You got to let the person who's fronting it in on the front, So that's where I find it like a little like, like damn, like you should have given him the heads up at least. The reason why I also feel like it's a charade is I'm gonna go ahead and say Mushy said, oh, like we're all aware. No, no, no. I wanna say we who are educated, and I feel like maybe majority of us on this stage right now are pretty educated when it comes to music and the industry, specifically the industry. So I feel like, we can't, it's unfair because there's a lot of people that are just not educated because they don't know the ins and outs enough, and they just listen to music. I just want to listen to music because it's good, and the radio played it and it sounds nice, so that's what I'm going to listen to. So yeah, it's something that it's not common knowledge. I feel like the reason why it's such a terrible thing, because I do agree with Rashad, you got to pay to get on. You know what I mean? Like it's investment. It's investing. Um, the reason why it's looked at so like it's down upon is because it's like this fairy tale that they keep insisting on selling to people, because it's just so much more nicer to hear that somebody got it out the mud, that this is how it's done and all that kind of stuff, like to the point that they want to go ahead and make every single goddamn like movie that they make regarding the industry makes it seem like that. And it's just, that's not a real genuine thing. I have no problem with bots.
Go ahead, Fresh.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a wonder that you bring up Brown Sugar, right? Because gone are the days of like the lyricist lounge, right, where a lot of guys got Talib Kweli and a lot of those guys was able to break. Like that's not happening anymore. They're streamlining the process, meaning that's why you just brought up how Zaytoven talked about the million streams, 100,000 followers, because basically that is now your base. So now the A&R departments don't have to spend all this time building your base, right? We don't have to put fillers out there, little small EPs with a B-side cut on there. We don't have to do that. You already have your base. So now with my name being Zaytoven and I'm able to, produce by Zaytoven, and you already have a direct to consumer, base, we can go on that. And that's the easy part. But like you said, it's also killing the quality of the music. Because your boy Jadakiss, he prophesied this back in the day when he said, if you sound anything like such and such, sign right here. That's really what they're doing. And a lot of these people like Glorilla, right? They get into these 360 deals because they don't know the business. They just want to make the music and they just want to get known and get famous and all this stuff like that because they're in the gutter, right? They're trying to get out. So they sign these deals where they're going to make pennies on the dollar for the actual work they're putting in, and everybody else is going to eat off of them. That's all that Thug is doing. Thug is recouping on his investment. He doesn't have to like Gunna and all that stuff. He's just recouping on his investment. And actually, the one thing I would say that Pixie said that I wouldn't agree with, I would not tell Gunna. I'm going to give him plausible deniability. I'm going to give him the guise of doing this organic things. I want him to keep doing those things. I want him to keep, having the same vigor as he's moving organically. Let me handle that. Let his manager handle that. That way, if the castle comes tumbling down, my artist is still able to make money for me, even if I'm locked up, even if I get knocked off, right? I'm still making money. You don't want him, to get caught up in that. That's the only thing I would say, because we've seen that happen a myriad of times. It happened at the beginning of what we would call the industry of hip hop with what was a record label that put out Rapper's Delight, because she was it was a lady, a black lady, and she was mixed up in a lot of stuff, with sampling and all types of things, and she didn't let them know, but that also kept them out of jail. So I think that's the way the industry goes nowadays. So.
I
Real,
want
what's the
to
word?
wait. Can I respond to Fresh on one thing? I agree with you to an extent, but my thing is that how is it still going to go ahead and keep the bag going if the person's locked up, right? And or I'm not saying that this is Gunna's situation, but if the artist is purely basically manufactured and that's the reason why they're up. then it's just like one of those things. Like I just don't see how they can keep the bag going if they find out and they're not in on it. They're just gonna. To me, it's like you're either a great actor or you know what I mean.
I don't know
Yeah,
the
I think
rappers.
nobody. I think to my point, and what I'm saying, nobody cares after you already got that look. After you have already established yourself as Gunna, right? That what did he sell the first week? If somebody can help me out, it was probably like 150, 160 that first week. It is assumed that he can do that, right? And so all I have to do is just keep up the charade, right? It's nothing, and that's not difficult. You feel me? And so after Real, I'm gonna speak to that. Go ahead, Real, and then we got Kenya. Real once, Real twice.
Yo, 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 you be always put me on the clock, boy. Damn.
What's the word? How you feeling today?
All right, man. Now I feel like everything y'all saying is spot on. I'm really just carrying on what y'all saying, but I think I miss the grind from the rappers that are like legit. You know what I'm saying? I miss the mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? I miss the big crit underground, the currencies. You know, Meek was an underground at first because, like y'all said, if I put you on, it don't mean you can stay on. Like they put Cardi on, but she hasn't been able to sustain on her own. She has to get writers, and because it's not organic, she doesn't have mixtapes from her being 15 and 16 saying, "Yo, I remember." We don't have that. I remember with her, and not having that. I remember with these artists like y'all said, I think it damages it cuts the quality so bad. But this payola, you just putting your mans on. I wish that it could be a way where they could balance it to where, yo, I'm putting my mans on, but he nice. He got three mixtapes like how it used to be. My man got three mixtapes. He went viral on YouTube for this, this freestyle. Da, da, da. You know what I'm saying? It's cool for the payola, but I wish the talent would match the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think how people consume music now is different than our era, quote unquote, and where you had live mixtapes, you had Dat Piff, you had the underground circuit, especially in Atlanta, and where you can go to these different, like it's so different now, right? Where you don't have those websites, everything is monetized, so either you're putting it on the DSPs or YouTube, so it doesn't necessarily like that quote unquote grind isn't there anymore because folks want to make bread. Like back then, people, people still love it, but back then there was another level of love when you see somebody putting out 10 mixtapes and you ain't getting no bread, you ain't got no shows, and you still doing this. Like what? And so that part of that aspect of love, I think, is gone now. But we also artists just can't do it like they used to do it. Go ahead, Kenya.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I honestly like. It's like, did it expose the industry? Yes, but I just don't care because I feel like that every industry's here to make money. I don't expect the music industry to be any different, right? So it's like, this is capitalism. Okay, they're gonna do what they got to do to make a buck. But if it's about good music, the people making good music is still there. That's for you to go and seek out. If you just got to stick with the underground and that's what it is, the people that are making music and still keep a 9 to 5, but they still have the passion, they're still putting out good stuff. Like, I just feel like just because Gabriel, like, for I just feel like
You
just
want to hear some
because
good music too. Wake it
I
up.
know, no, it's okay, baby, it's not coming. By the time you get grown enough, it'll be even worse. So poor you. But what I'm saying is that, like, it's just gotten to the point where you can't look for what shows up on your, on the Apple Music homepage. Like, you can't use that as your barometer anymore because you know what that is. You know what that means. So now, yes, if you're looking for good music, stick to the underground people. But it's like, don't be mad at the same thing that you like in every other aspect of life. No, niggas is here to make money. That's what it looked like.
I think, and it sucks to say, right? But I think that if you are trying to be quote unquote authentic in that aspect of just grinding and hopefully somebody will find you, you are fighting a losing battle. You will never win that because there are people that are spending $50,000 without a care in the world to get a number one album. So if you sitting somewhere and you're hoping and praying that you just gonna get your music up and folks just gonna look at it and love it and then now you're gonna take off. Nah, fam, you're in the wrong industry. these folks out here, these major labels, they want to make their money back. And like y'all say, the school to prison pipeline, it is the artist to bot pipeline, because there's no way in the world that I'm going to spend. Do you know how much it costs to get a song mixed? It's like $20,000 for a song on that level. Videos
What?
are 100,000, right? Features are 100,000 plus. You know what I mean? Production, writers. Then you have to get the wardrobe. The albums are costing people on the high end, like
People
top
are.
tier albums, are costing people 3 to 5
Rashad,
million
people are,
dollars.
but if you take a step back and look at the whole thing, bro, people are scamming. A lot of these like people that are even now coming up in the music industry, like these young up and coming artists, they scammed their whole way through to even pay for that stuff, to pay for studio time, to pay for the videos. I was getting scammed. I got scammed by this one girl in Baltimore, and I kid you not. Okay, she is best friends with Krishan. It was at the fucking BET Awards. She scammed me out of $300. And this
Listen,
was way back when, like 10 years ago. And I gotta look at her fake eating it up, getting signed by some bullshit ass label. Like, this is all a man.
I've been scammed. I've been scammed multiple times, but I think that when you think about how much these albums cost, like when we doing reviews and we saying this album sounds expensive as opposed to, this album sound a little cheap, right? These expensive albums are costing people 3, 5, $10 million, right? And so if you think for 1 second that I'm gonna spend $5 million on this album and I'm also not gonna spend money on bots, you are crazy. You're crazy,
Yeah,
because
like
I
why
need
wouldn't
my money
I?
back.
Why wouldn't I do that?
Yeah, why wouldn't I do that? To quote unquote keep it real? Folks don't care about keeping it real. They care about these numbers. And if you think that I'm not trying to get my money back, I don't know what to tell you. All I can say is I am. I'm trying to get my bread. So if it costs $50,000, or you on the other side, spending more money, the amount of money that TDE spent for Dochi, unfathomable. Right? They are spending way more than 50 grand, right? And I think that they're overdoing it. But if you don't think that I want my bread, you crazy.